You need to write this down either on the formula for your percent comp. It's going to be the total weight of the element you're looking for, goes on top. You're going to divide. We need to not be talking once I'm on the lesson. Okay? This is an element, and whatever element you're looking for is going to be on top. Okay? The total molar mass, or GFM, goes on the bottom. Remember, this is what we did on Wednesday. My week is all messed up. Okay. And that goes on the bottom. You're going to equals then times 100, and that's going to give you your percent of whatever element you're looking for. Okay? So what this means is you're going to be able to take a whole sample, and that's what we're doing on lab today. You have a whole gum piece, right? Is that just one compound, or is it several compounds? You have several compounds, right? And so what we're doing right now is you're just taking out the sugar compound. That's what, when you're chewing the gum right now, that's what you're taking out. You're taking the sugar, okay? And then you're going to be able to go back and subtract. You're going to put the unchewed gum in the cup, and you're going to be able to get the grams of just the sugar that you're eating right now, okay? Now, let's do an example compound real quick. Let's do something like copper sulfate. Okay? Let's do, let's look for oxygen. So you're going to look for the percent of oxygen. So you're going to just follow the formula. Mr. Mora, we should not be talking while I'm teaching. Yes, you. No. Mijo, I'm looking at you right now. What is the total weight of oxygen? First of all, look at your periodic table.
16.
It's 16, right? Now you're going to do the same thing that we did on Wednesday. You have how many oxygens? 4. So 16 times 4? 64, right? That's your total weight of the element you're looking for, so that goes on top. Okay? Now oxygen is 64. Now you're going to do just what we did on Wednesday. You're going to add up all the weights from your entire compound to get your total gram formula mass, your GFM, your molar mass. What's my weight for sulfur?
It's like
32, and you only have one of them, so it's just 32. And then copper,
64.
and round it off. Yep, very good, 64. So now you're going to take the 64 plus your 32 plus your 64. What is my total molar mass for copper sulfate? 160. Very good. Okay. So now, clear your calculator and put 64 first. Then you're going to divide by 160. Press equals, because this is not a programmable calculator. And what's your next step? What does your formula say to do? Yep. By 100. Very good. Remember, your whole objective here is to isolate oxygen and find out what your percent, let me change that to, what your percent of oxygen is. Okay, so 64 divided by 160 equals, then times 100 is how much? Huh?
3.75.
It's 40. It's 40%. Make sure you clear the calculator. Something else might have been in there. Okay, sweetie? Clear the calculator first and then do the problem. Yes? That's it. That's your percent of oxygen. This is how companies copy from each other. They figure out exactly how much of that particular atom is in that product, or that particular compound, how much of that compound they have in that product. Once they figure out everything and they can reproduce the product, they can't sell it, right? Why?
Because it's
Copyright issues, right? But now that they actually made their own product, can they change a few things? Guys, get off the phones. They can change a few things. They redo their own recipe, right? And now can they sell it? Yes. Okay, and that's how Pepsi copied Cherry Coke from Coca-Cola, or CoverGirl copies from Chanel, right? And once you figure out all the percents are what we did yesterday, you can get your empirical formulas, right? Okay, so let's do the other ones there on copper sulfate. Let's go ahead and let's do sulfur. Let's find the percent for sulfur. What's my total weight for sulfur? 32 goes on top. Back there, we need to be paying attention. Okay, since you have 32 on top, what still goes on the bottom? Look at your formula. The 160, because that's your total molar mass, right? What's your next step? Times 100, very good. This is going to give you your percent of sulfur. So how much is that? 20%. Very good, young lady. Okay, good job. Where are we confused so far? Remember, if you're plugging into the formula, we just need to make sure you're plugging in correctly. You can't go wrong. Lauren, you need to stop talking and be paying attention up here. Okay? Mija, you need to be facing this way. Okay? All right. So now what you're going to do in lab is you already have the number here, right? What number did you guys get when you weighted? You got 34.6? Okay, and it's going to vary. Okay, it's all right. You guys are only like 2 points away. All right? Right now, in a minute, you're going to go back to your lab table. You're going to put all your gum in there, but don't spit it in there because you don't want to add water, right? You want just the weight of all the 5 chewed gums. You have to have the cup, the wrapper, and the 5 chewed gums. Okay?
Just put it in the wrapper?
As long as it's in the cup, you're going to get all the weight. So whether it's in the wrapper or outside the wrapper, it doesn't really matter. Okay?
Is that when the taste goes away?
Yes. Okay? So now, okay, guys, let's get back on task. Once whatever you have, let's say you had 34.2, whatever you have, and then you reweigh it, whatever number this is. Guys, we need to stop talking back there and pay attention. You're going to take these two numbers, you're going to subtract. That is how you're going to get your grams of sugar. So this is going to be your grams of your C6H12O6. This is what you're going to use to put over here. Now I noticed that on your copy it came out really faint. It's really light.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need that bigger so you can see it? Do you need that a little bigger right there? Okay. So on top you have your grams of sugar. You're getting that right from here, right? On the bottom, you're getting your grams of the unchewed gum. That's what you have right now, right? That's going to be that number. Whatever you have up here, that's going to be your unchewed gum. You're going to equals times 100. That's going to give you a percent. Remember, you have to be within 5% of my answer to start off with an A. Okay, and that's it. That's how you're going to figure out the percent of just sugar in that one little piece of gum. Okay, now you're going to go back and you're going to do also moles. You're going to use that same grams of sugar up here, and you're going to take the molar mass of sugar to divide it. That way you can figure out your moles. Now, how do you figure out your molar mass? How much does carbon weigh? Carbon weighs 12. Very good. 12 times 6 is how much? 72. Okay. Hydrogen weighs how much? 1. 1 times 2 is how much? 2. Oxygen weighs how much? 16. Very good. 16 times 6 is how much? 96. Very good. So now, what do I have to do to get my molar mass over here? You're going to add them all up. Very good, young lady. So once you have the 96 plus the 2 plus the 72, what's your total molar mass? 100 what? 112? No. Yes, the H is 12. My bad. Very good. Good catch. Okay, so 72 plus 12 plus 96. Hey, be nice to us nerds. One day you might work for us. We're going to be owning companies and things, right? You're going to be owning your own company, doing your own thing. That's good. Okay, what's 72 plus 12 plus 96? Huh? 180, right? It's because we had the 2 earlier, so it was 170 before. Okay, so what's going to be the number that's on top?
The sugar.
The sugar, the one that you're going to find right now, right? Okay, you're going to have that divided by the 180. That will give you your moles. We see that? Yes? Okay, so now on the back side, you're going to omit the bottom part,
What does omit mean?
6 through 8. Scratch it out. You're not going to worry about 6 through 8. Okay, go ahead and pick one of the problems in the back, and let's do it together.
4, 5, 3.
If I'm getting tired of chewing this gum.
I can't.
Yeah, just wait. We're not there yet.
This gum is
We need to be on task. The faster we get through this, then the faster you can go back to lab. Get off the phones.
Let's do 4.
Get off the phone. Number 4? Okay, let's do number 4. All right. We're taking too much time because we're not paying attention. Eli, we need to stop talking. Okay, so let's do number 4 together. You have ammonia and phosphate. So you have nitrogen, hydrogen, phosphorus, and oxygen. Nitrogen weighs how much?
14.
14. And you have how many of them?
1.
You have 3 nitrogens. Because you have 1 in here, but 1 times 3 on the outside gives you 3, right? Outside of the parentheses. Okay. What about hydrogen?
1.
Hydrogen weighs 1. Very good. And how many total hydrogen do you have? 4 times 3 is 12. Very good. Okay. Phosphorus. How much does phosphorus weigh? 31. And we have how many of them?
1.
1. So that's going to equal 31. All right, then we have oxygen. How much just?
16.
It weighs 16. Very good. And how many do we have of them? 4. Very good. Now remember here, you have 2 different objectives. Your first objective is to figure out how much total does the element you're looking for, how much is your molar mass, right? Your second objective is you're going to figure out the molar mass of the whole compound. That way you can find the percent. Okay? So how much nitrogen do you have? 14 times 3 is how much?
42.
Yep, it's 42. Hydrogen 1 times 12 is?
12.
Phosphorus 31 times 1. And oxygen 16 times 4?
67.
Very good. Okay, so now we have every single element. We need the molar mass though, right? So how much is the molar mass? 149. Okay. Now guys, I'm taking a lot of space here, so remember you can do it a lot smaller in the page, okay? All right, so pick one of the elements and let's look for one of those. Which one do you want to look for? Nitrogen? Okay, so let's take nitrogen. What goes on top? What's going to go on top?
Oh, your weight.
Which weight?
14.
Well, but remember you're going to get the total weight of that compound's nitrogen. Because you have 3 of them, it's going to be 42. Okay, very good. What's going to, yes? Yes, guys, that's a good question. You must show all of this work to get credit. Guys, back there, you must show all of this work to get credit, okay? Anytime we have any kind of problems in class, you must always show the work, all right? Okay, so the total weight for nitrogen is 42. What's my total weight for the whole compound?
149.
This is on number 4, yes. 149 is your molar mass, okay? These are both grams per mole. Okay, and that's why these units cancel. What is my next step?
You got multiplied by
Boys, let's stop the talking. What is my next step? You're going to take 42 divided by 149 equals, and then times 100. Very good. Okay. That's going to give you your percent of nitrogen. So what is that? 42, 28.2. Very good. And I want you to give me at least one significant figure after the decimal. So one number after the decimal point. So 28.2 is perfect right there. Okay? For each one. Okay, so we got it. You're going to figure out all of the percents for every single element. Okay, so now when you go back to the lab, what is the first thing you're going to do? You're going to put the gum in all 5 of them in the cup, right? And then what's your next step? Guys, why are we moving? I haven't dismissed you yet. What's the next step you're going to do? You're going to take the total weight and subtract your original weight minus the chewed gum, right? And that's giving you the grams of the sugar. All right, go ahead and get started.